Jimmy Cudden has declined our invitation to comment on the programme. We will be hearing, I believe, from the Green Party councillor Tom Kelly after this interview. But the implication you're making this morning, and you're more than welcome to correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds to me as though the implication is there was something to gain for the councillors.
Well, I can't see any other reason why. I mean, they might as well just get a colouring pencil and take out a map and colour in half of East Meath. Why go against the advice of professionals, planning professionals, who are being paid to do a job? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, I did read the smallest part of a statement from Meath County Council earlier on, and the council had made contact upon hearing your voice on the radio asking us to read out the statement in full, which I will do if you'll stay with us while I go through it. It says that Meath County Council are not in a position to enter into public debate on this issue, given that currently we are considering the submissions on the draft LAP. It will be a matter for councillors to decide on the LAP when they receive and consider the county manager's report on the submissions. The Drogheda United planning application is currently on appeal to An Bord Pleanála. The facts in relation to the Drogheda United Stadium are that the executive and elected council did everything humanly possible to facilitate this project. Planning permission was granted by the executive and confirmed by way of material contravention by the elected members. The fact that a third party chose to exercise their statutory right to appeal the council's decision to approve the development is something that is totally beyond the council's control. And your response?
The fact that the NRA are entitled to appeal, like any other individual in the country, are entitled to appeal a planning application. I don't have an issue with the NRA appealing to the planning process. Absolutely none. They're entitled to do that. What I do have an issue with is people making assurances over a 3.5-year period, while I go out and spend millions of euros at this point on their assurances, and then them not delivering on what they said. Simple as that.
Do you believe that the council and councillors did everything humanly possible to facilitate your project? I mean, obviously you don't, but I'm asking you to respond to the question.
Absolutely not. And nor would anybody else who's been involved in this process. If you speak to any of the planning consultants who were at those meetings, who heard the assurances, and who by their actions produced plans and detailed submissions to the council on this process, clearly the statement is incorrect.
And obviously you believe you were blocked specifically by the two councillors that you've named, but what about the county manager and council officials? Do you believe that they actually stood in your way as opposed to doing everything humanly possible?
I don't actually believe. I took Tom Dowling at his word. He seems to me like an honourable man. I think he's done everything possible to try and help us up to the point where he realised that Councillor Cudden and Kelly would not allow the plan to go on display as he had intended it to go on, and at that stage he started to have problems.
Okay, well, we'll ask the motivation of Councillor Tom Kelly, as I say, in a minute or two. But before you leave us this morning, Bill Doyle, what do you want from here? We've heard of calls for investigation into planning right across the county. Is that something you're interested in?
All I want to get the Drogheda project back on track, and I want a level playing field going forwards. That's all. That's all I've ever wanted here. I never asked for anything. I was prepared to put in a serious amount of money into the area. I wanted to see the club progressing. When I first got involved, I wasn't too interested in football. I've been to many of the Drogheda matches now. I am interested. I want it to work. We're still fully committed to making it work. Mm-hmm. All we want is a level playing field to do that. Okay,
and I'm sure you'll agree that it was a good business proposal outside of sport or what it means to the community or anything like that.
No, absolutely. I mean, I got in. I said from day one I was in this to I make a living out of doing this.
Sure, that's not a crime. That's not a crime. But
no, and I said that at the first meeting with Meath County Council.
Yeah,
and I always said if I can get Drogheda United to where they want to be, I'd do it. And we've made our commitment. We're still standing over our commitment to do that. All we want is people to be fair, straight up, and give us the level playing field we've always asked for.
Okay, Bill Doyle, thank you.